And we are live. Good evening and welcome to the Nigerian Pro Clubs League. I remain your host, Eddie Graham, and will be taking you live on the Effortless Sports Network. If you're just joining us today, is our most interesting match day is Double Feature Thursday. If you're with us live, you know this is the day where we get back-to-back features. Every team gets to play twice in this entertaining thriller. So right into the action, we'll give you what happened on Monday before we dive right in on what is to go down today in this double match day thriller. So on our match result, we can see that DIEHARD won AS Tornado. This was quite the opposite of what we have for the last week, and we see Get Clap go on to drill Phoenix FC 5-1 for the second leg feature. We also saw Faceless men overturning that 4-0 deficit in the first leg to winning MENACE FC 1-0. Nameless chaos for every one goal United FUT scored. They scored 11 right back at them. And CHOAS FC went on to win Niger Eagles 6-1. Adventure Time going 2-2 with CURRYZ FC, and Effortless getting that all-round default win against men in PLUTO, and Marshall XI Galaxy 11 had to postpone the game, but confirmation this game has been played and it ended 6-2 for Marshall XI. So we'll see what that does in the table while we'll take in all the interaction for today. So right up there we are seeing the table, and this is what it looks like with the confirmation of that result, which will see Marshall go up against Effortless with 1 point difference. Don't forget, Get Clap still leads at the top in terms of points and goal difference, like you can see, and Nameless Chaos as chasing. They were the leaders, but right now they are chasing, and chasing they continue. We see Effortless in third place regarding that pending match for Marshall XI. CHOAS FC following up through with 32 points. Adventure Time in 6th place with 31 points. Faceless men bracket on points, but they are so low on goal difference. Then we see the other half of the table with Phoenix, AS Tornado, CURRYZ FC, MENACE FC, DIEHARD FC, United FUT, Galaxy 11, Niger Eagles, who are replacing Hitmiss Aura. And last but not least, in the relegation zone is men in PLUTO, unable to secure a single point so far so this season. That has been really embarrassing from the men all the way from PLUTO. And right about next, since we're already running out of time for this game to get started, we'll look into the features we have for today, and then we'll announce our match of the day. And don't forget, if we announce our match of the day and you're able to get a prediction in for the Predict and Win series, you get to go with a cash prize of 10,000 naira. And our match of the day will be presented after the features are shown. So we'll present the features to you so you know the games that are coming on live in the screen, and then you can let us know what game you can predict correctly. So Marshall XI will be taking on AS Tornado. That match is scheduled for 10 p.m. Effortless go on to take Galaxy 11. Adventure Time will be seeing off men in PLUTO. CHOAS FC take on CURRYZ FC. United FUT up against Niger Eagles. Faceless men up against Nameless Chaos. Get Clap Calls will face off against MENACE FC. And DIEHARD will entertain Phoenix FC at home. And that's for the early kickoff 10 p.m. And the second kickoff, which will be starting up about 10:30 p.m., we see Get Clap Calls going up against, they'll be looking at taking AS Tornado for the second match, and DIEHARD will be taking on Faceless men. Phoenix FC will go up against United FUT. MENACE FC will take on CHOAS FC. Nameless Chaos all out against Adventure Time. Hitmiss Aura, we have been replaced by Niger Eagles, will take on Effortless FC. And CURRYZ will go on with Marshall XI. Then men in PLUTO face up against Galaxy 11. So for our featured match of the day, we'll be looking at Faceless men versus Nameless Chaos, Blood Bones, and Italian Mafia. So we'll be confirming if they are joining us right about now before we get on with the live action. So the match of the day is Faceless men versus Nameless Chaos. So we'll be waiting to get them live, and then we can kick off into all the live action in the Nigeria Pro Clubs League. So stay tuned. I remain your host, Eddie Graham, and we will be giving you this thriller back to back. Confirmation. Sly will be joining us shortly. So we'll have one of the co-hosts for the Nigerian Pro Clubs League joining us shortly. So in case you've missed it, drop it up in the comment section and then we kick off for tonight's live event. So confirmation, we'll be getting one of our co-host presenters, Sly Moore. He will be joining us for this double thrilling episode of our Thursday matchup. So don't forget, the matches you're expected to see are right up there in your home screen. And after we get the managers on, we'll be going on this relentless run of covering all the live action. So stay tuned, keep watching. I remain your host, Ecsn, and all this action will be live on Effortless Sports Network, and I'll be giving you back-to-back of everything. So don't miss up, you lover of Pro Clubs League. We begin shortly. So we're trying to get the managers of Faceless Men and Nameless Chaos, and after that we'll go live into the action. Yeah. Yeah. Lord Bone of Nameless Chaos. How are you doing, bro? Good evening to you.
What about you, bro?
Yeah, I'm okay. So, quick one because we are running out of time and we know you need to get back to your match time. So, what's the mood in the camp tonight and how are you guys ready for this matchup?
The air is a bit tense, I guess, coming from because we're still chasing the league, so we need to win this game as usual. So yeah, but I guess availability today is also all right. So hopefully, 3 points can be secured.
And you guys won a comfortable win against Faceless Men. It was not so comfortable because I remember the keeper doing a lot of live action, and if I stand correct, that match ended a 1-0 nil. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, it was just a 1-0. Assist from how can I go from?
Yeah. So the plan, does it remain the same or you have changed anything tactically to get more goals and more?
Yeah, there are a few things we changed tactically. So hopefully we can implement it today against Faceless.
So what is it like chasing? Because we know you've sat down pretty in the top of the league for one of the longest times so far, but right now you guys are playing a chasing game. Like, how do the player handle the pressure and how do they feel about chasing the current league leaders now? Because we know they are a dominant side that doesn't like to drop points anywhere. So do you see a possibility? Is there light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. There's hope for us. So we're still fighting. We're still carrying the same spirit we carried starting this league. You know, getting as much points as possible, winning every game possible. You know, there's no room for draw at this point because you know how get clapped is. You have to know you're up. So we have to win every game in this second half of the season right now because if we lose one, I don't know. Because if you decide that you leave the job for yourself to another team to do it for you, it won't go well. So it's left to us to try and win this league, if anything, at this point.
All right, we'll be looking at one of the most interesting matchup. Will be your second leg against Get Clap Cause. That was an impressive first victory against them. I think that was your first in the league so far, if I stand correct.
No, second.
Second, oh yeah, you had that cup victory against them. Okay, we're having Italian Mafia joining us right about now, so there will be words to be said between you guys. But let's try to get him on and let's see their own plan for tonight's match.
All right, no problem.
But still stay with us because there might be words directed at you and would like to see how you take it. Italian Mafia, you are with us. How are you doing? Good evening to you. Can you hear me? Please confirm you're not muted because we can't hear you. All right. Since we are struggling to get your feed, you can just exit and then try joining back again. Let's see if we can get the feeds from your end. But we can see you clearly, but we can't get any voice input from your end. So, but Lord Bones, while we try to get him fixed on that end, what was the goal before you guys start the season? What was it, the league title, or you guys are just using the momentum of being active in the league at the moment?
For me, it was the league title because I remember saying it last season. I mean, there was time you asked me if I'm going to be which one, MVP or the league title, and I told you MVP for sure. I told you the league for sure. So I don't know about my players, but at this point, for everybody in my club right now, it's the league. If anything, we're trying to get this because we win the league, we've won the cup. What's going to be left now at this point will be the Community Shield.
Okay. Speaking about the cup, are you aware the draw will be done this Saturday, and like we said, the cup matches will be starting on Saturday as well. So, what are your plans? Will there be a kind of squad rotation based on Saturday's weekend, and there might be the kind of chance that you don't have all your players available, or is it like a routine matchup for your team, and you try to get your boys on for Saturday features?
This Saturday, this upcoming
Now,
Saturday, or the
the
next.
Saturday is for the draw, so you now know your opponent, and then from the next Saturday straight up to round of 16 and all the rest. So, what's the plan for the?
We train on Saturdays, so you know availability is not an issue. We can always adjust, and I know the cup always starts in group stages. So if anything, we can make it out of the group stage. Then from there on, availability matters the most, especially for starters in the team. So you know we'll try and make time. Hopefully, we can get the core starters to be available for stuff like this in the latter stages of the cup competition or tournament.
Okay, let's see if we can get over the audio. Italian Mafia, are you with us? Italian Mafia coming, can you hear us? We're still struggling on getting the audio from Italian Mafia, and I think he can't hear us as well. There was a couple of questions I had for him, but in the absence, he might go back and watch this video. So are there any words you have for him since it's your opposition for today?
I just hope that they don't come with their crossing game today, honestly, because I know they brought back this FIFA 23/24 meta of crossing back posts and from deep. And apparently they seem to master it at this point in the game where the meta isn't crossing anymore. So that's my own. I'm just telling them that we might be prepared to stop most of this crossing.
Okay. Italian Mafia, it seems that we can hear you now. Are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. But
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, sure. I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, your face is missing from your camera though, so can you give us your undivided attention and we'll let you go in the shortest bit of time.
Sorry, come again. I had an issue.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear
yeah,
what you said
we
last.
can't see you clearly.
Come
We want you to like focus on the camera and so the viewers can have a glimpse of the manager of Faceless, man.
Wait, you can't see my camera?
Yeah, like take your face towards the camera a bit if
Hello?
you can. Yeah, take your face towards the camera.
Oh,
Okay, that's better. Thank you. So, quick one because we know the time is already going and some match have already started. What is your plan? We saw them getting a very close matchup victory against you guys, 1-0. What's the changes? Is there any plan for tonight that will get you that result you desperately need?
well, I'm quite familiar with Nameless. I think the first leg we lost by a goal. We're quite unlucky, but we're still like getting the hang of the whole, we're still warming up. But we have a plan for today, no doubt. We just try to like Nameless that more of like a counter-attacking team. So we are like we're actually prepared to stop them today.
Okay, Lord Bone, do you agree that they have you all figured out already? You are
I would
counter-attacking
like to
team.
believe that I'd like to believe they've done their assignment. So yeah, of course, we've also done our due diligence too. So
Okay. We had to add a series because ActiveWays is giving out a free JC to our predict and win correct series. So the game is focused on you guys. So we want to get your own take. If you guys predict and win, you also get included in the JC giveaway. So first off, on the home team, who's on by the way for today? I think Faceless May, yeah.
I'm not sure. Let me sharply check. If you excuse me.
Okay. All right.
I
Let's
think it's
get.
Nameless.
Okay, so let's get your prediction. Over to Italia Mafia. What's your prediction for tonight's game?
I feel it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
I don't lie, it's going to be a close game, but I feel we'll definitely edge it out. Like
We-
3 goals to 1.
3 goals to 1. Wow. We've heard it here. Lord Bones, what are we getting from you?
Can you guys see me? Okay.
Yeah. We can see you now.
Same scoreline but in our favor.
Oh wow.
Same
Wow,
scoreline
wow,
but in
wow.
our favor.
So let me
That's 3-1.
let me impute it so the data can have it covered. So for Nameless manager Lord Bone, you're saying a 3-1 victory in favor of Nameless Chaos, and for Italian Mafia a 3-1 victory for Faceless Men. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so before I let you go, there's always a part where we always tell the managers that we need your gentleman agreement that regardless of the score line and result, you will be back with us at the end of the stream. So can we get that?
Definitely I'll be.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be back.
Okay, one more thing, and this is your face-off. So before a wrestling match, there's always the bloating and bragging rights and all of that. So for now, you have the chance to say any word to your opponent. So what's the word you're going for? Over to you, Lord Bone.
Tell Engineer Bancho I said hi, bro.
Oh, a shot fired at the keeper. Mafia, is there any reply or you have words of your own?
Well, I'll say may the best team win. That's all I can say.
May the best team win.
Respect.
All right about now, I'll let you guys go back to your various team, and we'll be hoping that you guys give us the thrills that we have been anticipating since we featured this as a match of the day.
All right.
All right. Thanks very much for having me.
All right, good luck on your games and stay blessed. All right, we've had the managers come in and give us their opinion on how the match should go. We've seen them live in action. They have dropped in the messages for each of them, and now we are going to go right deep into the actions. I remain your host, Edison Graham, and we are live on Effortless Sports Network, and we will be giving you the live action of the Nigerian Pro Clubs League. So while you're waiting for to subscribe and turn on that post notification so you don't miss a single bit of what we have coming for you. And right now, a lot of games are already getting started. We're sorry for the delay, but we are trying to keep it interesting so you can get off your seats. We've seen a lot of comeback in the series. We've seen a lot of interesting matchup. Hopefully, the game featured for today will be able to entertain you all the more. So like what we do all the time, when we see a featured game, we try to stay in the match so you that are predicted can follow that featured game. But we'll still try to get you across all the games so you can see the result before it ends for the night. So don't forget, we're trying to add up a feature where you get your result before the end of the stream, and by our next episode we can get that for you. But right now we'll be focusing on all these games with one of our key matches that we have our eyes glued on to be the game between Faceless Men and Nameless Chaos. It's important to know that Nameless Chaos are chasing for the league, which is currently being held by CURRYZ, and they are currently in second place, missing on 2 points so far. They have only got a draw and 1 loss, while CURRYZ are just there with a single defeat in their name. So the title race is still on, and right now it's closely contested between these two teams, but what's to say that a lot can change in the second half of the season. So it's second half of the season and it's 1 match played, and we have about 14 more to go, and today comes with the elimination of 2 of those games, and the countdown begins from now to the 3rd champions of the Nigeria Pro Clubs League. So stay tuned, stay informed, and then we will catch up on all the live action. So take a look at the features again, and from here on we'll switch in back to the live action so you can predict and win. So what are you waiting for? So we'll give you the features, and after the features we are taking you straight into the action. So our point of giving you this is so you know the games that are coming through on your screen. So one quick glance and then we go into the matches. Nameless already set in, and we are seeing Nameless already set in, so we are seeing their full squad. What a squad we have. It's the first time I'm seeing Dutch Okowa for Nameless Chaos, and what is quite a repeated lineup because we see Lancelot in the right mid position, we see Dablin on the left mid position, we see Shimere in the cam position, and Noni and Akan, who have been relentless so far. We also see Vatican and Ronzi Dre in their CDM position. Jeremiah is skilled left center back, Lord Bone center back, Iran Laoye in RCB. This is the squad for Nameless Chaos. We'll also switch in between to also see what Faceless Men has cooking for us as well. And then this is the featured match, so we'll try to stay here while giving you all the interactions in the other match. What a match that we have for you today, and we'll be having them soon. And now we are looking at the lobby of the Faceless Men, and you see Razat Ushi and Squeezy Pleazy, and on the striker position, confirmation that Squeezy Pleazy is Molish. And it seems they are resetting their lobby so that we have no glitches when the game is about to begin. So while we are waiting for the featured match to go on, We'll be checking in on the other games if any have started, so you can start getting locked in into what they have available for today. This live action is all in the Nigerian pro clubs. Don't forget, if you're just a player or your team and you're looking to join, you can just search the socials Nigerian pro clubs live on Twitter and Instagram, and a handler will be able to take you through the registration process. And if all is checked out and good, you will be joining in on our next season. So we're trying to get the matches over to you and we will kick off. But don't forget, this is the featured game between Nameless Chaos and Faceless Men. If you can predict correctly, you get to win a free jersey. So don't forget, Nameless Chaos, Faceless Men. Drop in your predictions in the comment section so we can take record of them. And at the end of the stream, we will get you your prize. So the match is getting ready, and this is the CURRYZ FC lobby. We are seeing them with quite a new players. We have seen Soton Brown, one of their new signing in the half season. We're seeing Kill Time in defense as well. We'll see Chooks Lee in center back and Ostino on left back, and their game is about to get started. So we'll see who they are going to face off. CURRYZ FC already looking through getting their game started. So let's see the face off today, and we'll be going in on the action live. CURRYZ FC searching for the opponent. All they need to do is accept, and then we can get in the action. They'll be playing Toka FC. So we are waiting for Toka to accept, and the delay that has been missed, and now they'll be resetting their lobby before they can get back in again. So we're checking on another match. Like we say, today matches, there are a lot of games on for today. We have a total of 16 matches that will be played across two different match schedules. We have the early kickoff and the late kickoff. So we are still looking at the early kickoff, which is scheduled latest to start 10:15. But we are trying to focus on the match between Faceless Men and Nameless Chaos. So we'll be looking into getting this match started, and then we go straight into action. So let's see what we have for today. Faceless Men getting ready in the lobby. We've seen Nameless Chaos already locked in and set. So let's see. Roberto is one of the most prolific CDM in the building. They are getting ready, and after this, the match will start promptly. So let's keep our eyes locked in on the game, and we'll give you live back-to-back action. All the teams are getting ready. We'll still be checking in with some games. Don't forget, CURRYZ is taking on Toka and Marshall. They are one of the hardest match we'll be seeing today. CURRYZ taking on Toka and Marshall XI. We have Faceless Men taking on Nameless Chaos. Both teams getting ready. Okay. And we have AS Tornado Marshall XI. One of your match for today, and they are ready in the lobby and they are set to begin. So we'll be looking at what they have to do. AS Tornado Marshall XR. If this doesn't glitch it, the match will be started in few seconds. And we have Slimer on with us, who will be covering our co-commentary. So if you've been waiting for him, you can drop a message in the chat. AS Tornado Marshall XI. The game looks to be glitched a bit, so we'll switch up to another match while they have themselves sorted out. Confirmation of the Faceless Men and Nameless Chaos. If that game has been put to start, we'd like to feature in on there. They are still getting ready. They are just missing one man in. They have a full squad. All right, we'll see the Faceless lobby already ready to get in on the action. Nameless Chaos and Faceless Men all looking sharp and ready for tonight's action. Razat Ushei, the last man to get in the lobby. And the live action begins shortly, anytime soon. Don't forget, today is Double Match Thursday, meaning you are in for a long night, because it's not just the first early feature. There will be 2 match played. Slimer, good to have you with us. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and we are live. How are you doing? Good to have you back.
I'm doing good. It's been long. It's been long since I've been on here, but I've been following the action from the shadows. And I've been seeing all of the craziness that's been happening with the league table and everything. You guys are doing a great job.
So what have been your most exciting match during your off period? I don't know if you're able to capture that glimpse between Nameless Chaos and
Marshall.
You called them right.
Yeah. I accidentally, like, I joined. I was in the group and I saw, like, on that night I was able to join, but I saw like a lot of messages about that game. So I went back to watch. I was like, this is crazy. Exactly what we expected from 2 of the big juggernauts, and I'm sure the likes of Get Club, they were watching closely and they're just hoping that Nameless were going to drop points, and indeed they went on to drop points, and that has become like a big alter in how the table looks right now. I think the NPCL, where we are at the middle stage of the season, it's getting heated more than ever.
I think, looking at it personally, I think Get Club Core celebrated that win more than Marshall XI.
They certainly did. With the way things are looking, they certainly did. Because with them just lurking around, like, Nameless Chaos have been like damn near perfect for the whole of the season. Like, just one draw, and at that time you almost felt like nobody was going to be able to touch them. They had beaten every single obstacle in their way, and they ended up being Marshall XI that took points from them. So I'm sure Get Club were definitely delighted with how that game turned out.
Speaking of Nameless Chaos, we have them facing off against a team that they narrowly won in the first leg, which is Faceless Men. And we have Faceless Men in white confirmation and Nameless Chaos in red. Slimer, what do you think about this match?
I think for the first leg, Nameless were able to pick the win. Very important win for them. But I mean, now that Marshall XI has been able to beat Nameless, it almost feels like it has given maybe the blueprint to other teams to know how to go at this Nameless Chaos team. And at this second part of the season, I'm just looking closely at the strategy that teams adapt for this Nameless Chaos side. Have they learned from what Marshall XI did? Have they learned from how that game went, and then probably inculcate that into their game and possibly take points off of Nameless? So I'm seeing how Faceless Men do attack this game, and for Nameless Chaos, it's all about, I mean, forgetting about that loss and trying to bounce back in the second half of the season as strongly as possible. Who knows? Get Club, in my eyes, they do not look invincible this year. I've seen some shaky games from them all season already. So for Nameless Chaos, there's only one thing and one thing on their mind, as they face danger early. And there you have it.
You did mention.
Wow.
I think you were just speaking about that part a bit, about now everybody knows they are not invincible with that loss, and I think it was more than the loss. It was how they lost that game, coming
Came
from
about,
3-0 up in the first half. Like that looked like done and dusted, and that game was a wild game. But not to take away anything from the action having now, Faceless men with the early lead in the first 10 minutes of the game.
The Faceless men, actually, I think in all of their big games that we've seen them, even if they lose, it's always a tight game. So I know Nameless Chaos coming into this one, they expect it to be a pretty tight game. Faceless men, even if they are losing, they do not lose terribly like other teams. I remember their game against Get Club, it finished 2-1 to Get Club. So you know they do not make the games easy to the much tougher opponent. So Nameless Chaos, they've got a serious game on their hands, and in the first 15 minutes, already down by a goal. This is proving to be a very fun one, as we'll see Mulish being deployed on the left-hand side of that squad. When I see the Ghanaian players sometimes playing in some positions, I'm always intrigued as to how they do adapt there, because in the Ghanaian Pro Clubs League, which has ended, of course, they did play in different positions, as we also see Wise Mars on the ball.
And speaking about Faceless men, we have to give them some credits, not to forget their impressive victory against Effortless with one man down since the first half of the game.
Wow. So they've shown that they have the resolve. They've shown that they're able to do that. But the thing, I think pro clubs, the most important thing is consistency.
Exactly.
It's more or less
my words.
It's how long you can do it for. Even if you are going on a winning streak, how long can that winning streak be, and how consistent can you be? Even if when you have bad games, can you still go on to win? As they'll be in another promising position, it could have been 2. Let's chaos. They look leaky at the back. So far, this goalkeeper has come out very early. Is that a strategy that they've deployed? Getting the keeper out early to just stop those over the top 2 balls. So far in these first 20 minutes, it has worked. But Faceless men, they've just not been able to put together good results for a very long time. And maybe, just maybe, the second half of the season could be theirs as they go on the break once again. They have been so intriguing to watch in positions like these. And I think they've done extremely well to keep that Nameless Chaos defense on their toes.
And I promise you, speaking about the goalkeeper earlier there, even if they beat every man down, that goalkeeper is somebody they have to also watch, because he is a showstopper. He has been able to do some magnificent saves so far this season, and he's someone that Nameless Chaos need to watch out for, because getting the goal is one thing, but getting past the keeper is another thing that they have to be watchful for.
He has indeed made some crucial saves. Those last 2 chances that did come in, if they had gone in, Nameless Chaos would have been in serious trouble. They've got the goalkeeper to thank at this point. But how much can the goalkeeper consume? How much can he keep out if these less attacks keep coming? Noni trying to weave something from his team. They're trying to work something up top. We haven't seen too much from that on them. That's why Smash will go back and do the dirty work. Faceless men, what I've loved about them so far in these first 30 minutes is everybody is rushing on defense. Everybody is also joining in the attacks. Could this be the moment for Nameless as we see them build up interestingly through the middle? It has looked disorganized in my opinion. The first half of the season, Nameless, that we saw, they looked more than actually the opposite of disorganized, the organized, because you could see the patterns clearly. This time feels like the Faceless men defense is forcing them to play the way that they want to, through the middle in congested areas, and always when you play like that, you give the defense advantage. And so far, Faceless men are using that.
I feel like I was the only one that spotted that a bit. There has been a certain swagger Nameless Chaos played with all through this season, but right now I think we are lacking in seeing that swagger part. They don't look decisive in their counter attack.
Yeah, sometimes it does happen. Usually when you go on that long unbeaten streak and it just suddenly comes to an end, they can kill off the momentum. But this is where the character and the resolve of the team will have to come to play. The big names that they've got in their side, they've got to step up and be like, hey, it happens. It happens in every single sport, not just in pro clubs, not just in esports, whatever sport you're in. Sometimes these moments happen and they've got to keep it together as they're under siege again. Uche, this time he's got to finish. And of course he will. Wow. And Nameless Chaos going to drop more points.
I think it remains to be seen. Like, this is the worst Nameless Chaos game I've seen so far this season, because they don't look cooking like they usually are. Like, we know this thing, when they attack you, it's always looking like they're going to score 10 goals, but so far I'm seeing them like hold off. They are not linking plays properly. They are spending a considerable amount of time without getting the ball back. So they are just defending deep and not really doing anything when they have the chance. And they have to perform a bit of what Marshall did against them if they are going to get any chance getting into this game.
They have to. They seriously have to. And they've got the whole of the next 45 in-game minutes to go. It might look a lot, but if this game gets away from you, it could be a serious mountain to climb as we close that first half. Wow, Nameless Chaos. Did we expect it to be this way? Well, that's the nature of the Nigerian Pro Clubs League. It just gives, and when it does, it always produces. I think AS Tornado and Marshall also in action pretty early in this game.
Yeah, a good time to take a view at Marshall XI, considering they were the ones that unlocked Nameless Chaos, and now they are here continuing the damage they are doing.
Very impressive team. Marshall XI, after that impressive win against Nameless Chaos, I know you've been speaking to a couple of them. Do you feel like that has changed their mentality? Maybe at the start of the season, after all those shocking, I think they did lose to Get Club early in the season. Maybe it would have derailed the momentum. But do you think that big win over Nameless Chaos has probably shifted the mindset, and now it makes them believing that they could possibly go on and contend for the title?
Well, that was one part, but the thing about that was that they got a quick reality check after that victory, because we saw Tucker FC going on to win the next game 3-1. So that's where the league is at the moment. Like, you can't sleep on any chances, as we see this one through for Didi Oye. What a miss by Baby Oli R9. So back to what I was saying here, there is now a pace in the league whereby you can be celebrating victory, and on to the next match you're still facing a formidable force. Like, we see Tucker FC with a lot of the Ghanaian pros in Montana, Oscar, and they couldn't even celebrate properly against Nameless Chaos, and they went on to lose that match. So, like you said, one of the key factors is consistency. Now, which team can be consistent in getting this result? Because we saw Nameless Chaos with that momentum, but ever since the effortless draw, they were a bit shaky, and then you now saw Marshall get that 3 goals back. So I think if they can pull themselves back up, I think they are pulling.
Well, speaking of pulling yourself back, there they are. Right into the second half, and that's come at the perfect time. It didn't take too much time for the 4 minutes in, and that is what potential champions do.
They come back.
Let the rods go on for too long.
Yeah, like I was speaking on them a bit. Like, they have to pull themselves back up, and what a way to put themselves back on in just 5 minutes in the second half. They already brought back down the 2 goals deficit to equalize on this game. Do you see them going on to win this game?
I mean, with the way the tables have turned and the way they've got the goals early, just 7 minutes in, and they've been able to get all of the 2 goals. The reason why we were so adamant as to just giving up on this Nameless Chaos side is they just showed too much in the first half of the season. You cannot play that good and all of a sudden play that bad in the second half of the season. These guys are way too talented. They've got way too much chemistry to just falter. And we are seeing all of that chemistry come to play in this second half. 55 in-game minutes gone, and we are back where it all started. Nameless Chaos with all of the momentum in the world right now. But I like what Faceless Men are doing right now. They've noticed that the tides have shifted a little bit. I'm sure they're probably gutted that they've conceded 2 goals in a matter of, like 5 minutes. I'm sure they're really annoyed with this one, and they are trying to just take the sting out of the game. And that's possibly the best way to go, as our commentators Jinx will come in there as they lose possession of the ball over the top. That's a brilliant 2 pass. And it comes off the posts.
What a pass. What a pass! That should the keeper have done better there, in your opinion? What could the keeper have done? Maybe come out a bit faster?
Maybe a bit earlier, but I don't think the goalkeeper to blame them. Maybe the defense was caught sleeping a little bit, but even the 2 pass surprised us both. Nobody was expecting that one. Nameless Chaos, their front men are putting things together, and it could be huge in these last few minutes of this stretch. Noni and Co look like they're back at their very best. Hakan linking up to the right hand side. Can they just work it through? Faceless Men are at the phase of the game where I always say this: when the team is going on a run, what you can do best is try as much as possible to stay in there. Try to stay in there. So see the goalkeeper under serious pressure, and he almost just gives a goal. You've got to be careful with where things are going now. In these next 10 minutes, it is going to decide whether this game will be turned on its head and Nameless Chaos will get back the lead, or we'll see Faceless Men actually turn it over.
The most hardest part is coming back when you have already lost a 2 goals lead, because one thing is the switch of momentum. You have the game, and then when you can't secure the game, it's now easy for the players to come out of the despair and go all out to win the game again. But if there's anybody that can do it, it's also Faceless Men, because we have seen them out of despair, 1 goal down, going on to win a game. So they have to just lock in and forget about the fact that they considered too early game. The game is still on for them. At this point, the momentum could swing in anyone's favor, considering that they have a goalkeeper as well.
I mean, it certainly could. They've got the character of those players on their side. It could certainly swing. They are one of the very best teams in the league, currently at 7th position, which is surprising to me. I thought they'd be higher, but maybe the second half of the season will tell us a lot more about this Faceless Men team. So far, these 2 balls have looked dangerous from Nameless Chaos. I don't know if it's something that they said during halftime that they were going to be doing a lot more, but they've caught the defense off guard a couple of times already. And Faceless Men, that defense, they've got to be careful as we head into these last 15 minutes of the game. Crucial one. I think next goal wins. I think if someone scores right now, there's not going to be enough time for the opposing team to come back into this game.
Not going to be enough time is correct, as we look at this beautiful chance, but it was intercepted. And speaking about the true balls, a player you have to look out for in this Nameless Chaos team is Chimere. I think his code name in the game is AC or something like that. I think he's on the ball currently. Yeah, he's a gifted true passer of the ball. What a Trivela! Hit the second bar.
Now we are seeing all of the variety. I'm seeing the swagger about them in offense again. Like, they're moving the ball around quickly. They're getting into their spots really early, and they're causing problems for that Nameless Chaos offense. But they've got to be careful at the back, as they are susceptible to the counter at this point. Back post cross comes in just a little bit too deep for Uche, and he is flagged offside anyways. It's getting very nervy in these last few minutes. Nobody wants to drop points, and who will have the resolve? Noni will take care of the ball pretty well, actually, for this Nameless Chaos side. As we'll see Faceless Men try to regroup, they do. We've seen the pattern from Nameless Chaos in these last 10 minutes. Immediately they get the ball, they're looking for a 2-ball up top just to break that defense, and that time just flagged offside. Do you approve of this strategy that they are in with these last few minutes to go?
I think if they started this strategy from the onset, they would have been through on goalless. Akan with that cross is not the best striker. What a save! I spoke about this keeper, if you remember me correctly, and the keeper is showing like why is right up there as one of the best as well. I said if they can get past anybody, can they get past the goalkeeper? And you've seen him right there again with that lovely save.
What a save that was! Surely game-altering save. As at this point, the points have been shared with just a minute to go. Nameless Chaos, what do they have to conjure up with this free kick?
Slimo, I think with the number of last-minute goals we have seen so far this season, it's important to say even with this extra 1 minute, a lot of things can happen.
Something could happen, and that's not when you give the ball away. As we see a 2v1 situation, they've got to execute. AC, good 2-ball for Nameless. This keeper.
Did I say something? Slimo, I did predicted this.
I think Eddie has seen the script somewhere.
No, I've been basically able to cover all the games so far this season. So I know a tale when I see it, like this, the storyline on how this goes going. Like anytime it's the final 1 minute, if you're not composed enough, a lot of things can happen. And I think this looks like a script I've seen before. I think it was against Adventure Time and Matchday.
Wow, what a script it ended up being. It was just amazing as we get another potential goal mouth action that time. The goalkeeper making sure that he comes in clean. But what I would say, it's careless on the part of Faceless Men. You have really a free kick. the opposing team's half as AS Tornado with a chance to equalize in the game.
It means
there was the whole the near post to shoot for.
Whoa! That
and the goalkeeper didn't even have to touch it.
Nah.
What just happened? Precision shooting.
I believe so. And we call it precision shooting, but I think that was a careless shot from the striker.
Very careless.
It lacked precision.
How?
But speaking of the nameless game that just happened now, what do you think that does to the title race?
It just keeps it alive. But on Faceless men, their path, I think they'd be disappointed with how they give that one up. You've got a free kick with barely a minute to go of added time, and you play short into a danger area. I don't advise playing it short, but at least you have to keep hold of the ball till the final attack. And well, they have themselves to blame as they do not get anything away from that game. And Nameless Chaos, you've got to give it to them for sticking in this game, not giving up after going 2 goals down, and that's their reward for it. Speaking of the teams with the rewards, there come Marshall Exile. They are blazing at this point, up by 2-0 against AS Tornado with another lovely word move, up by 2.
I think this shows where quality is embedded, because since when we've been watching, we've seen AS Tornado being able to pick out this Marshall defense ball just in the front of goal. They lose all the composure, all the calmness. They can't hold on to their wits when they are facing the keeper movements.
They have struggled a little bit with that one on Marshall Lex side. Kudos to them. They have managed to keep themselves in the title race. I know there are a lot of points behind, but if you're in that position, all you do is just do your job and keep winning your games and just hope that results elsewhere will favor you today. If the game against Faceless Men and Nameless Chaos had ended in a draw, it would have been a positive result for Marshall Lex because they would have crept up on Nameless Chaos. But as it stands, Nameless Chaos still will be having the 6-point lead above Marshall XI. And what a day it's turning out to be. Just round one of the action, guys. There's still a lot more to come from the NPCL. But what a start already to the plethora of games that we've got coming up.
I think the most disappointed team will be Get Clap Cause, because one thing about being on top of the league, you're waiting for your close by opponents to drop points, and so far it looked very close for Nameless to drop that point.
Yes, Tornado on the board.
Yes,
Tornado on the board. Could they set us up for a crazy feisty last 2 minutes? Right now, it seems like Eddie has the script. We see another last minute goal.
I just looked into my mirror and the mirror isn't showing me anything so far. So I don't think there is anything on for AS Tornado. But you see,
well, we've got the last minute to determine if Eddie's mirror is a scam. AS Tornado, final chance of the game as the experienced Marshall Lex. I do just work their way up into this one. Oh, there it is. Jonokam almost just giving away. They've got to be careful the way they are holding the ball in the midfield area, but they've done a brilliant job of holding on to it, and well deserved. They have dominated every single time we've seen them on the ball, and they'll secure all of the most important 3 points in the bag for Marshall Lex. It seems like Eddie's mirror truly working.
And back to your favorite team. I do tell you, my mirror comes pretty handy. And now is your favorite team, Get Clap Cause, doing what champions do. I want to tell you, I have a problem with this your team, Slimo. Can you guess what that is?
Well, where is the problem stemming from?
The thing is that we have a lot of top teams, but they make you feel hopeful when you're playing the game. But GCC don't just care. Like, they show no respect to their opponent. They're all about slam. Like, they are ready to beat you to stupor. This is just 30 minutes of the game. When we look through all the results, we saw a 1-0 Marshall lead there. We saw Nameless Chaos with already losing 2 goals down. But when
struggling a little bit.
Yeah, when we tune into GCC, like, these are not guys that need the game to start before they get going. They get going before the game even begins.
That's the mark of champion, and that's the mark of a champion who got the league title taken away from him, the champion who got his crown snatched last year. And Get Club, they are brimming with confidence just at the right time. I just said their last 3 games, and all of their last 3 games they scored 5 goals or more. This team doesn't know when to rest, and I'm expecting 5 goals or more in this game as well. Just 30 minutes gone, already up by 3. Get Club Cause, we sang their praises all season, and it's for the right reasons. They just know how to bounce back after their loss early in the season. you've seen that they've still kept that consistency. They've still kept that belief that they'll go on to be champions. And you just see it in the way they play. They haven't dropped even one bit. I'm sure maybe a couple of the guys have heard how the Nameless Chaos game went, and it's probably infuriated them to even go and score more goals.
Speaking about other games, DIEHARD, if you're aware of what's been happening recently, DIEHARD has also proven to be one of the teams to beat. We saw them with that victory against AS Tornado, winning that game 2-0. That was one for the community blender because it was a featured man. These guys, they go at each other's throats all night. You know, one part of the entertainment is that they're
Ooh, what the finish! Phoenix open it up.
The revelation team of the season already opening things up. So back to where I was, DIEHARD does also be a phenomenon because we knew how they struggled last season, and right now we see them trying to even get a placement into this season without getting relegated. So I think it's too early to call them off in this game because they can be stunning.
They can be, but teams like this, I think they thrive in moments like these. When they've got their backs against the wall, people are not expecting too much from them. They've got nothing to lose and they go all out and play. But Phoenix, they are certainly taking the game to them. I like the way they started this one. That same position to try another finesse attempt. This time, goalkeeper comes up. So, but you see the intent with which Phoenix is playing, very aggressive from the onset. And I think there should be a lesson to every single team out there. If you did go and watch, if all of these teams finish, all I'm advising is go and watch that Nameless Chaos game. You start slow, you go a goal or two down, and they could kill the whole of that game for you. But kudos to Nameless being able to stay in the game and going on to win it. So Nameless Chaos, they have escaped by just a hair there. And forget club cause the ability to start strong, like you were saying earlier, is probably their biggest advantage over all of these other teams. Phoenix also look like they're in that battle of 6th, 7th, and 8th, because now with Faceless men losing that game, if Phoenix go on and win this one, I think they leapfrog them.
They do leapfrog them, and not just in the standing, in terms of goals as well. Like what we've been able to see for Faceless men is good defense, but when it comes to scoring goals, they do
they struggled a bit.
Yeah.
And today where you've had 2 goals, you give it away. Come on now.
The number of comeback I've seen so far this season is giving me room to be able to predict some kind of when the script is written all over the place. And now we see compounding of problem for MENACE as they go down with a red card, including a 3 goals deficit.
And tough one to deal with against the league leaders.
Tough one. I agree with you on that. But they were the one with that close-up chance, and we'll see again if they can make something happen.
It's going to be tough going up against Get Club, already down by 3. With Get Club playing with, of course, the confidence of the league leaders at this point, with MENACE FC just trying. I like what I'm seeing from them, not giving up this early. Maybe they could change something in the game. I know it's going to be tough, but you still have to keep yourself in the game. Get Club, because what they do, I think, very well, and maybe gives them a slight advantage in other games, is they know the situation, the kind of situation that they are in. Right now, they know they are out by 3-0. They don't need to rush anything, as they will make more space for another shot in. Goalkeeper Molly comes to the rescue again.
The thing about this MENACE team is that they might go under the radar for your part a bit, but I must tell you, they are one of the teams that never sleep. They are always in the business. They had the highest transfer done in the transfer window, this summer transfer window that just passed. They were able to get, they even got Emmanuel Daffy from Adventure Time. Like, he went from being top of the league, like top 7 in the league, to where Phoenix are at the moment. Is that
Phoenix? Big finish. Big finish to go 2 goals up, and it's quite deserving. When we saw them earlier, they were pushing for that second goal, and they've been rewarded heavily. They go 2 goals up right after we see also MENACE struggling in this game. Phoenix make sure that they clear all of those loose ends. But Eddie, in this first half of the season, what team would you call the most surprising in your opinion?
I think we have to give it to Phoenix, because like they are one of the newest team out there, but the way they have transitioned, especially with the number of
and there they go again. It seems like we've brought the luck to them. Just should have been able to execute that like a 3-on-1 opportunity.
Exactly. But the thing about Phoenix is that they will get better. The thing is, they are not afraid to rat a game if they have to. They are not afraid to do the dirty work. They don't care about any shame. Like, they all care about the result. Like, there's no glory in a defeat. So they are willing to do anything to get that result, and that's what I like about them.
For Phoenix, it's keeping that momentum going on in the second half of the season, and this is the perfect way to start it. They're first to the loose balls, they're scraping out for everything, and just like Eddie said, they do not fear to rat it out as well. They do not care about anybody's opinion. They will play their way and they will grind out results. Then being 2 goals up in this game, you almost feel like it's a done deal, and they're not giving up too many chances to die hard, as we see the men in white lift one up top.
Okay, I will give you an inside joke. Do you know what performing a mobby is?
No.
Performing a mobby is when you're drawing with your opponent and you don't feel the need to attack. Like, you see that the way Faceless men lost that game to Nameless Chaos.
Nameless, woo! What a finish! This is probably the best of the goals we've seen. We are not receiving finesse shots, but that near post caught everybody off guard.
Slime of wow. Confirmation, Nameless is losing again for the second time in the night.
We see them make 2 comebacks in one night.
So I was trying to explain what a mobby means. Like, you see that situation where Faceless men had that chance.
Yeah.
Performing a mobby is not going forward, not trying to get that last minute goal, and just saying, okay, I'll take a draw. I think I'll take a draw.
And he ended up backfiring.
And Phoenix were the ones that invented taking a mobby. So you can just take a mobby instead of going for that last minute winner. You just take a mobby.
They started with the idea and now people are copying.
Yeah, but I think Faceless men were not able to execute it, because if they are taking a mobby there, they would have gotten at least a point.
A point from that game. Well, if you are learning something new, then you've got to go ahead and master it. As we see Faceless men, they unable to complete the task with that game. First time we see Toka FC in action here today. Toka FC currently 5th position on the league log. If you are wondering where to catch all of the updates on the group standings, who's facing who's scoring who's on the league log for goals, for assists and everything, make sure you're following the Nigerian Pro Clubs League social media handles everywhere to keep you in the loop with how things are going. Toka FC currently 32 points plus 34 goals, a team that also is gunning for the title. I know they are a bit far away, but I think they are 11 points off. No, not just 11 points. I think 15 points of the league leaders. That's actually 13, sorry, my bad. Of the league leaders get club course. Toka FC in action against CURRYZ FC.
This CURRYZ team, they put up a performance in their last time out, because we saw them with the first half win against your favorite team, Get Club Course, and that was quite an interesting watch.
It's always very interesting when stuff happens like the Phoenix are managing to grind out the results. We're speaking about them being one of the most surprising teams in the season so far, and they might go on and win that award for the whole of the season. Actually grinding out the result, 3-1 now. Feels like the points are already in the bag for the men in white and black for this one. They will keep going, and they will successfully leapfrog Faceless men going into it. I don't know how that Adventure Time game is ending. They are leading currently against Nameless, so we'll be able to catch a glimpse of that action. But there you have it. Your league leaders still keep going strong. 4-0. I'm sure after this game, they probably hop onto the Nameless Chaos game and they go and see how things are panning out there. So it might give them serious momentum if Nameless Chaos are still losing their game to Adventure Time. It's all unfolding. It is. Still, Nameless Chaos on the losing end. Eddie, are these signals to tell us that Nameless Chaos are losing a bit of their powers? Well, they had to silence me, and they've done that in a perfect way. We've seen 2 near post finishes, and they've all been very, very good to watch.
Very, very good. I think it's important that they are putting it as such.
Yeah, it always sometimes catches the goalkeeper off guard. Near post finishes. I think is it FIFA 18 or 19. It was one of the meta ways to score. And this year, you must feel like one of those patches that came out near post was really a difficult way to stop for the goalkeepers. And right now it feels like it's been nerfed a little bit. But right here we've seen two really impressive ones going as Nameless, CHOAS. This evening, maybe they just want us to crown them the comeback kings. Can they complete it though? We find out with these next 80 minutes to go as they try to bulldoze their way through this that sea of defenders at the back for Adventure Time.
I think with the number of comebacks we've been able to see so far, and I think Nameless, CHOAS, if you're betting on anyone to come back, it has to be them. So I think they'll be coming back into this game.
They are just confident. Speaking of comebacks, we are on the trail of one. Just after 25 minutes, these guys, they are truly mentality monsters. Wow, and it didn't take them long. It didn't take them long, like the Faceless Men game. They have done it in just about 25 minutes. That is truly insane.
Slimo, I think I'll be holding up a bit because anytime I just say a word, I think it always comes back. it always comes to pass. Maybe I might take a step away from this mirror.
The mirror is revealing too much in the NPCL.
Too much at this moment. Too much.
At this point, it seems like Eddie, he's got all of the juice, and at this point, it is favoring heavily for Nameless, CHOAS. They work something nice.
Yeah,
he should have knocked that down and go for a shot.
My point is exactly like he had enough time to do with that ball what he needed to do, rather than just heading it up. And they have another chance that was overseen.
A big opportunity. Now the game has turned on its head, and you notice the pattern in all of Nameless, CHOAS's games. In fact, the two games that we've seen, when they do go behind and they get the equalizer, they make sure that once the momentum gets to them, they are keeping hold of the ball and they are keeping the pressure as high as they can. So far, putting serious pressure on Adventure Time. We also get a sneak peek at what Toka FC is doing. I think Toka FC, we spoke about the most surprising team this year. As Montana were getting on the act, we'll open the scoring for Toka FC. I think we spoke about the most surprising team in the positive way. Who do you say has been the most surprising in a more disappointing way? Could Toka FC be in that conversation?
Yeah, you can look at it two ways. It's not really the players that are there because they are the squad overall.
A total shift in the roster, yeah.
So I think they are not the most surprising in terms of that because it was expected. They had only one player retaining contract, then the momentum had to switch a bit. So in terms of that performance, I think I'll give it to Marshall XI.
With the stars that they've got on their hands and them not being able to win more games as expected.
Yeah, because we saw them do what has never been done. We saw them
and
unbeaten. And after that, I think they just lost their momentum and they were never really able to get it back because perspective of Toka and Marshall XI here, Toka FC lost a full bench rosters of big names, while Marshall XI lost one player.
Oh, they are two on goal. Nameless, CHOAS. They are chaotic indeed when they go a goal behind, and that's been the name of the game in their two games today. They've turned it around. Wow, surely this title race is going down to the wire. Nobody wants to give it up.
It's good. Like I was saying earlier when we had Lord Bones on the interview, I said I know he's not really keeping a lot of hopes. Oh wow, that was a lovely finish. Lovely finish. Another near post shot.
Immediately when we thought maybe Adventure Time we're going to be sleeping in this game and make Nameless, CHOAS pick up this easy win, we have been reminded that you cannot sleep on those guys. They've also had a very interesting season, plus 17 goal difference, currently 6th position for them, 31 points. And mind you, with Phoenix winning their game, Adventure also are in a danger of losing that 6th spot to Phoenix. So Phoenix will climb up 2 positions here today. So very important as we keep tabs on that game. Go back to the Toka game. We did see Montana grab a goal for them earlier, them leading by a goal to nil. I think out of all of the teams in the league, is it Toka FC that has got the most Ghanaians in their lineup?
I believe so. I believe so. The manager has an affinity for Ghanaians because he has like 6 to 7 Ghanaian players in there.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of them already in the lineup. I've seen Yeps, I've seen Montana also in the lineup. Speaking of the man, there he is as you pull up a lovely move, fake shot into open space. The defense staying true to its course. CURRYZ FC, they have been under lots of pressure, but give them credit. They've held this Soccer FC side pretty well in these first 60 minutes of the game. Soccer FC, if they want to still keep pressure on being able to finish top 4, then these are the kind of games that they should be winning comfortably. And I just feel like they struggle sometimes against these lower ranked sides. Goalkeeper will parry into a dangerous area. And speaking of them having so many Ghanaians, it is actually one of the Ghanaians to be able to get on the score sheet once again. Oscar on the loose ball, goalkeeper, he just parried that into a terrible position, and Soccer FC deservedly out by 2.
I think that was well deserved. And now this game has all the focus because a lot of things can switch up in this game. It's just a 1-0 lead at the moment because 3-2 Adventure Time won't go to bed with this one.
They won't at all. I think they'll go right down to the last whistle, last minute of this game with the way this game has gone. Nameless Chaos, they have taken control after getting their goals back, but you just kind of feel like there are little cracks here and there, and if Adventure Time can exploit them, we could see them really cause danger to the title contending side. They've got a deep cross coming, goalkeeper fumbles it. Oh, what a howl of a goal to give away. Nameless Chaos are gifted with one. It's one that will take all day long, and it takes the pressure off them. But what was the goalkeeper doing there?
I think you can play all you want, but winning a league comes with a certain bit of luck as well. Like, you need to have chances like that going in for you. So I think they'll take that, like you say, all day long. They will take that.
They will take it. It does come with a bit of luck, and it looks like luck is indeed on the Nameless Chaos side in this game. I think they also, I wouldn't call that faceless men possession that they gave away in the final chance too much luck, but you almost felt like it was a little bit of luck in there, the way the ball bounced in front of them. But sometimes you make your own luck. The pressure that you put on them just created that luck for them, and they've been able to do that again in this game, now leading by 4-2 in a more comfortable position than before. But not to sleep on Adventure Time, we've already seen them be lackluster at the back. When you give away chances like those, you just give your opponents a chance to creep up on you. Another space for them.
That was a crafted chance. That was one of the best crafted chance so far this evening.
That block is worth a goal.
It is. With what we have with Nameless Chaos, these three at the back, they are defending deep or careless giveaway of possession. Another chance. Adventure Time not getting the lock, or unless something could happen here.
Well. They haven't given up, which is a really good sign from them today. What's happening to the goalkeepers? Another one given away. We've had freebies from both of the goalkeepers.
I think it's balanced. I think it's balanced. They have to.
It's fair now.
Yeah, it's fair enough now. He balancing both sides. That's lovely to see.
Wow, I'm sure both teams must be fuming with the way they are giving away chances. And Nameless Chaos, especially when you've been gifted one, you don't expect to go and make these errors like this. And with about 25 minutes to go, we are in for a blockbuster of a game in these few minutes to go. Well. A turn in the tail once again. You almost feel like these games with Nameless Chaos now, they are not going to. I don't think there's many games that will come now that Nameless Chaos will be winning comfortably. They've just been too shaky at the back. We'll see more of these close results come for Nameless Chaos, and it's up to them to keep being at the right side of these close results when they do come back. Push was already seen it cause damage, and it will this time around. Kudos to the defender staying with his man and keeping a close eye on him, because that ball could have just bounced everywhere, but him being able to restore position, that's a pretty important job for that Adventure Time defense. Wow, who have to stay logged in. If just giving away too much. Well, speaking of staying logged in, there you have it, able to win possession of the ball. Look, credit to Adventure Time. Their defense, I think, is stepped up a little bit after conceding that howl of a goal. And we always say that the defense is always the first line of attack. if they're able to win the ball and they get it into the midfield channels early, you can catch your opposing team off guard. And I think they need to do that a lot more for this Adventure Time side to execute. Here they come. The men in red. Could they have drama for us in these last few minutes? Nameless Chaos need the win dearly as Adventure Time to the middle.
I think at this point, is that... Oh, that was a corner. I thought it was a penalty there. I think at this point, the only thing Nameless Chaos have to be worried about is the result, because it doesn't matter how the games are tough. You just need to sneak away that result and on to your next game. Do you
think at this point, Nameless Chaos have to deploy the strategy you were talking about earlier? Not try to score any goal and just pass it around and kill off time.
They do need to perform a Morbi, but the thing is, performing a Morbi, you need to be time cautious, because trying to perform a Morbi this early in the game, it could
with 12 minutes, it's going to be tough. But speaking of that, they cannot be doing that now. Credit to Adventure Time. They stuck in there and they have got their goal back. We are level. Today, Nameless Chaos have been at the center of all drama. And I just feel like the drama hasn't ended here. With 10 minutes to go, I feel like there's one more goal in this one. We'll go back to our mirror man, Eddie. Do we have another goal?
I think we do. Yeah, I think for the...
With how good teams are pushing. What? Speaking of another goal.
What?
What is happening? What is happening?
This was what I was talking to you about. If you remember the game between Marshall doing that comeback against Nameless and then going on to lose the next game, this is a perfect representation of that. This is a perfect representation. Nameless Chaos have done the comeback against Faceless Men, and then now they are going to suffer a comeback against Adventure Time.
This game has just had everything. The storylines, the narratives are all in this game, and it's turned out to be possibly one of the best games of the season. I know we have a lot of candidates, but this one should be right up there. If we have top 5 games of the season, I think this game should be in it. And maybe, just maybe, we haven't finished writing that script yet, so they just could execute. And at this point,
Time needs to perform
Adventure Time. Can they go on and do it? I think they do. I think they do go on and hold on to it with just about 2 minutes to go.
They have to perform a Morbi, because this is what Phoenix live for. This is what Phoenix die for. This is the point.
So you say if it's Phoenix in this situation, they go on and execute perfectly.
It's perfect, because they won't lose the ball. They run back to their post. They don't care about whatever you might call them. Like I say, they know what it means to get it done. This is the chance I'm talking about. You see them attacking. You see, they were still trying to push forward. Phoenix don't do that. Once they have the result like this, they don't do that. They are all about...
This is an example of that exact situation we saw. Faceless Men give it away, and Adventure Time do give it away. Fortunately for them, they win it back in Nameless. They drop points yet again. And what a big win for Adventure Time, and that will send serious messages across.
Slimo, we need to take into consideration the result Adventure Time have been able to get this season. They have not just gotten... What are we seeing? GCC AS Tornado.
Wow, well, the league leaders had to remind us that, hey, they're still one of the best teams around. Near post finishes look like the order of the day today. Yeah, impressive.
They seem to be back as OP. But this is what I was trying to get along with. The number of results Adventure Time has been able to get this season is quite alarming, because we saw them do that. That was the first comeback this season against Marshall Ecsn, 2 goals down, and now they did one against Nameless Chaos. I will have to see Bones at the end of the conference. I am sure he will not be happy.
I'm sure he has a lot on his mind. But Nameless Chaos, taking into account how you were losing by a goal to nil early, and we're all praising how quickly they were able to turn the game around. They even went a goal further, making it 2-1, and you almost felt like they had the game in the bag, but there was just still a lot of time, and you could not write Adventure Time off. And there were glimpses that Adventure Time could go on and then get goals in the game, but immediately they go one back 3-2, and then the howler from the goalkeeper, it became 4-2. It almost felt like, okay, now Nameless Chaos will go on to win it, but their goalkeeper also gives away a cheap goal, and then we see Adventure Time go on and grab 2 late goals to grab all 3 points in that game. Get club CHOAS. I don't know if they've got the message yet, But if they do go on and win this game, they stretch the lead at the top of the table. What a storyline to be.
I think a Get Club player will be playing with streams on, because they would always want to know what's
happening elsewhere. Yeah.
So I know a couple of players, they would have announced it in their party that Nameless Chaos have dropped point. They would have been looking for towards it since that Faceless main game, but I think they'll finally be a little bit more reserved and relaxed, knowing that Nameless Chaos have dropped points. Now the league is more than likely for Get Club.
Well, it's up to them to do their part of the job now. You see them pressing. That's what their club does. Oh, comes off the post. Work this so well. Rhymes, one of the lethal marksmen in this game. You're expecting him to put that chance away, but they get another great opportunity. What a block. Yes, Tornado. They're staying in this game, not willing to just give it up all of a sudden, as they'll still keep the pressure on. They're able to go on the counter. Look at how everybody's running back for Get Club. They've just closed down the spaces so quickly, and they've been rewarded with the possession of the ball back.
Like everybody complains about it, Get Club press is relentless,
and it ends up being a goal. It's just relentless for them. You see, when you put in the work, the results show. Everybody running back for that counter attack, as Eddie and I pointed out to, and it ends up being a goal. So everybody run back, everybody runs forward. Get Club cause look in another comfortable position. Mind you, they've scored 4 goals or more in their last 4 games. They are potentially going to do it in this one as well.
Don't forget to stay tuned for Saturday. We are going to be doing the cup draw on Saturday. So in case you've been watching, we are now adding the added matches on Saturday. The Saturday will be the Effortless Community Cup. So don't forget to stay tuned for Saturday live draw, so you know who is playing who, and we are adding the Saturday matchup in between as agreed before the start of the season. So Get Club, they are running away with this one. 4-1.
Well, we saw it coming. I did mention that they now like they're a team that scores goals. If we look on the league log right now, they're on a plus 69 goal difference. That's excluding the 4 that we already saw earlier and the 4 we are seeing today, like right now. So these guys are just relentless when they're in front of goal. It's the reason why they are league leaders. It is one of the biggest reasons why I just have them winning it again and being snatched. Their chain being snatched last year by Toka FC. You knew there was revenge on their minds. You knew there was vengeance on their minds. And at this point, they're about to go 5 points up. Sheesh, that's going to be tough to catch them.
What do you think, Slime? Or is it over? Do you see anybody coming even close? Like Marshall XI and Effortless are chasing as well.
You know what? It's not impossible. It is not impossible, but it's tough. That's the only thing, because you just don't see Get Club dropping points. I know they've lost a game this year. They haven't drawn a single game actually. When they are going on, they are going to win. That is always the thing on their minds. I know we've seen them lose a game this year, but right there you have it. Like there's a sequence in this game, like a 10 minutes or 5 minutes straight, that tells you the character of this team. That counter attack that awarded them a goal, they were the defending team on the counter, but you see everybody running back, rushing onto the ball, and when they win it back, nobody's stopping. That is one thing I love most about this team. Nobody stops running. So when they win it back, they're still running, they want goals, and it ends up being a key feature of their game. We've already spoken about how deadly their pressing is. I think Eddie mentioned earlier that teams just they crumble under the pressure of the press, and Get Club, I think they press better than any other team in the league so far, and it ends up being the Achilles heel for a lot of teams in the league, and that is why they are currently leading by 4 goals. So maybe we'll see a turn in the tail here. Brilliant finish,
very brilliant.
The newly added low finish, really looking like it's making a difference. Eddie, have you tried it out, and do you think it's a nice feature to be in the game right now?
Yeah, since I went out of retirement, I hardly get enough time to try out a lot of this new intake. But I think for the pros, it's something that has always been there, because if you tap your shot is low driven, but putting it as a play style, I will still fancy putting it as a normal play style than a play style plus.
Play style plus, yeah.
Because already low driven is a manual, is a skill gap. You understand? So I think getting to do it is also a skill gap as well.
Yeah. Players should be good enough to be able to do it, not just make it a play style plus. I agree with Eddie there, but we see Ecsn Tornado being able to execute that perfectly. But get club cause, they will settle for these 4 goals that they've had. I don't think they'll be pushing for more. Look at a professional team in your shot, just making sure that they are winding down the clock with a minute plus extra time to go. They have put in the work, and they will be your league leaders after match day 18. They've played 2 games, 1-2 out of all of those games, and maybe they could get 5. Brilliant tackle, but there you have it. Final whistle goes. Get club cause, just proving to us that they are league leaders for a reason. Wow, faceless men.
Slimo, I did tell you something this season that a lot of teams, and you stated it as well, that when their back have been pushed onto the wall, they have all to play for. And you see faceless men now losing to DIEHARD FC. I told you can't
faceless men. Wow, they've already dropped in the standings after that first launch of Nameless Chaos. Are they about to even drop further and lose 2 games in a row to DIEHARD? And we've already mentioned, Eddie has already mentioned that DIEHARD, they've been one of those teams that they are the gritty, grindy team. And when you give such a team a lead in a game, it could be tough to overcome. Wow, today we've already had a shock with Nameless Chaos losing that game to Adventure Time. Could we be in for another shocker? Well, this is where all of the action goes down. FLS Sports Network bringing you all of the live coverage of the NPCL 2025. We are right at the halfway mark of the season, mind you. I think every single team is supposed to play 32 games, Eddie, right?
It's 16 teams, so they have to play 30 games, and so far 16 has been played. So we are looking at 14 more to go, and today will be cancellation of 2 more. So at the end of today, we are looking at 12 games more till we crown our champion. What or pass?
12 games left. Where did that pass come from, and what was the defense doing? So split easily, and DIEHARD with a premium opportunity to go 2 goals up. He should have buried that chance.
And what do you think would have been the right option? Maybe a cheap or low-driven shot.
This year the ball is proving to be a stubborn one when you are going 1v1 versus the goalkeeper. So I don't advise that. The chip shot actually looks good when you see the goalkeeper on rushing. I think today we already saw a chip shot in that Nameless and Faceless Men game, if I remember early. So the chip shot could have been the right one, but just be composed up top and know what you're going for. One thing that I've always struggled with when I'm going 1v1 against the goalkeeper is early on when I'm going, maybe I've already thought it out. I'm going for the chip shot, and then maybe I'm getting closer to the goalkeeper and I change my mind. That is where usually the problems come from.
I think you need to see this as well. Not just DIEHARD winning Faceless Men, CURRYZ FC winning Marshall XI.
Well, today we might have to turn March 20th into the upset day. We've already seen 2 major ones come. Well, that free kick was wild, very wild from Marshall XI. If they're not going to get goals from open play, or then I guess set pieces could be another way to get back in. Just rattling off the post. CURRYZ FC. Who would have thought that they would be up against Marshall XI? CURRYZ FC, who just dropped points against 5th place Talker FC, are looking to bounce back and maybe get a turning point of their season with a big win against Marshall XI. They've still got 45 minutes to hold on.
I was keeping you tabs on a reminder that CURRYZ FC also went on to win Get Club in the first half of their last feature. So we see them with another first half win against a big team. Now the question is, can they hold it up till the end?
Yeah, with that buzzing attack of Marshall XI, I know it's always going to be tough. I expect Marshall to get a goal. I don't see a world where Marshall goes up against CURRYZ FC and they don't score a single goal. No way that happens. There's no way that happens. If that happens, now we have to sign an asterisk on March 20th. I think it's possibly just upsets day all over.
Slimo, before you make a bet that big, you could have asked me what my mirror said about that match.
There's a mirror telling us something else.
well, my mirror says CURRYZ go home with something. Maybe this could be the one time when my mirror goes wrong, but I'm telling you, my mirror tells me that CURRYZ goes home with something.
Wow. That's a big statement. Big statement to make. We'll see if it has come to pass. But so far, his mirror has actually proven to be trustworthy. It's proven to be accurate. Could this be the first time that we see it Toka FC. What are they in action against? I know that's not nameless kill. The initials look like it.
Cross it in here.
It makes me question the game between Adventure Time. This could be maybe a friendly game after their game. And now we get to see Effortless for the first time this evening in red against Niger Eagles.
I was wondering when they'd come. Wait, was Niger Eagles there the whole time or they just joined? Because I don't think I remember this team.
Hit Miss Aura has been relegated, so Niger Eagles is the replacement team.
Yeah, okay. I know I saw that message somewhere. I did see that message somewhere on X about Hit Miss Aura being relegated. So Niger Eagles, what have you made of their performance after a couple of games this year?
Well, they started with a bang because I remember them coming on to win their first game, and I think they lost the second, but they have showed like before now Hit Miss Aura couldn't get a single win, and their first intro was a victory. So I think that says a lot for them getting into the league, and I think if they have started before everything come on, maybe they would have been in better place in terms of form and chemistry, but they are still good to go.
Well, it's still early days for them, so I don't think there's a much of a big sample size to go on and judge them, but we'll see how that's turned out this season. This league is a ruthless one. Even if you're a new team, there's no mercy and there's no time for you to adjust. Faceless men with possibly the best chance to grab the equalizer in the game when it comes off the post.
Very unlucky, very unlucky. I will still be keeping tabs on that CURRYZ game because that seems like a result that could change the balance of things with Marshall Ecsn.
That could really shake a lot of things in that top 4 placement, because right now Marshall Ecsn on 37 points and they've already won their first game this season today for a double header fixture, and Effortless could possibly leapfrog them if they win both games. Did that come off the post or was that the goalkeeper making a really important save?
I think it was the goalkeeper there.
Wow. That's a big save if you consider the way the game is going. On the 10 again, Marshall just trying everything that they've got to be able to get back on the board and resolute defending from CURRYZ FC. That's what you expect from a team like CURRYZ FC who have a lead. They will do everything in their power to be able to at least get something. At this point, I'm getting scared of Eddie's mirror. He might just get every single decision right.
The question is, I keep testing the mirror because I'm making all these rash predictions, hoping that it fails me so we can move on from it, but it keeps coming out correctly. So let's see how this match plays. Still a lot of time to go. If it's anything we have seen in the Nigerian Pro Clubs League, is that you can't call it early. You have to wait.
You certainly cannot call it early with 20 minutes to go. I said earlier, I don't see Marshall Ecsn not scoring in this game. At least they get a goal. And 20 minutes, I think, is more than enough for them to even get 2 goals. Kenny on the ball, one of the true stars of this team, currently playing, I think, at the left back spot. Now, you see how high a player like Kenny is going late in this game. It tells you that it's almost getting to panic stations for Marshall Ecsn as they win possession of the ball back. There they are in another situation where you almost feel like they have to be able to get a goal, finish or block. Still pushing forward. There it is now. Of course, they were going to get a goal. Of course, they were going to get on board a Marshall Ecsn. Could that be the goal that just changes everything in this game? As we'll see what also happened here. But that looks like it could have been a penalty. And just like that,
Faceless Men and Marshall Ecsn back into contention with the equalizing goal. And I think both of these matches are similar in timing because we still saw a 77-minute there.
It is crazy with the way things are going everywhere so far. DIEHARD, they're in again. Could they make good use of this one? I think it was. The 2 ball looked clean and it looked well timed.
I think,
but that's great recovery from Faceless Men. Yeah.
What a cross! What an acrobatic! DIEHARD with the lead. Joseph B, captain, fantastic. It's 2-1 to DIEHARD. He has been scoring this acrobatic all season long. Like, he has gotten 2 already, and this is his 3rd acrobatic for the season. I think it's nice what Josie B has done with this DIEHARD team. Like, I like to call him Captain Fantastic, as we see him with that 2-1 lead against Faceless Men. All the time Faceless Men spends coming back in this game just to go back again.
Just after 2 minutes, That's it. That's insane. You almost feel like it's comparable to Nameless Chaos losing to Adventure Time. They did all of the work to lead for major parts of the game, and then going on to lose is just nasty work. And now DieHard FC, they are 5 minutes away from pulling off a famous way. Maybe they even put up the game to bed, but the goalkeeper will say not on his watch, as we'll turn our attentions back to another crunch fixture, as we have a top 3 team in the league. Marshall-Lex are currently third on the league log, still pushing for a title challenge this year, being held by this squad. And of course, maybe for the first time, Ellis Mirror might have got wrong. But you know what? Out of all of the predictions that you were going to make, I think this was the toughest one. To be able to say CURRYZ will be able to get something against Marshall-Lex, I think that was the toughest one you could call.
Yeah, I think I wanted to give them credit for that game against. What a chance that Faceless men couldn't put behind.
Should be scoring.
Yeah, back to what I was saying. I was giving them credit for that game show they gave us against Get Clap Calls, because Get Clap Calls had to like panic for a win. So after that, I was like, if they could do this against Get Clap Calls, they would be able to like hold their own against other teams. But this result is one for the ages.
DieHard, and it seems like they've got the result in the bag. Maybe they could even make it more spicy. I would possibly attend. It's 4v1. They have to finish it off. What are they doing? Well, they won't care. They've got all of the 3 points that they need. DieHard with a big result of Faceless men going to lose. Well, Marshall-Lex, yeah, they're getting back to the old routine, getting back to what they do best, and it seems like they've turned the game on its head, and they're possibly going to walk away with all of the maximum points.
Slimo, let's have this conversation. Faceless men.
It's tough. It's tough seeing that they're going to lose 2 straight games today with the kind of talent that they have. I wasn't expecting that at all.
We'll see the likes of Roberto Inje, Italia Mafia, Molish, Razat Uche, Njoku, and all the rest, but losing back to back. We saw them with a 2-0 lead against Nameless Chaos. They went on to lose that game.
Effortless. Almost going, conceding a goal to the Niger Eagles there, but their goalkeeper comes to their rescue. But Faceless men have got to be the story of the day. They have just simply got to be the story of the day. I know Nameless Chaos dropping points is also a big story. A Faceless men losing 2 straight games. I don't think we saw that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming at all. Niger Eagles, they've been in 2 times in a row, and if they had very good chances, would have been level. Well, that's why possibly they are where they are currently.
That could have been an easy comeback. Like this is the difference. We see Adventure Time taking these chances to come back into the game and all of that.
Yeah, it's tough when you miss chances like this, because I played against a really good side in Effortless, a team that's top 4 in the league, who are also gunning for a top finish in the league, and you have 2 really glorious chances. At least you should be taking one, and if they had taken one, I think the energy of this game would have shifted a little bit, but still it makes Effortless comfortable as we see them try to create another chance of the cross this time.
And we'll see this matchup, and I think Niger Eagles have also been a very impressive side, because they seem very like they know what they're doing. You see the position they are able to pick up around the pitch.
Yeah, they've actually opened the back line a couple of times already.
Their transition is also quite beautiful to watch as well. But it's obviously showing that experience is winning this game for Effortless, as Galax, Niger Eagles are still attacking this team, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, you see bits and bits from Niger Eagles. They haven't quite put it together as a whole, but you see bits from them, and if they're able to put the bits together and make it one whole, and they become a really top team to contend with. And of course, you are going to be punished against a free flowing side like Effortless, who can turn defense into attack in a matter of seconds. That's what happens when you miss chances. They are up by 3-0 with a well-worked move. Total football right before our eyes. Effortless FC. Well, they don't look like dropping points anytime soon.
I think you get punished for not taking your chances. So far, that's what we've seen all through the evening. So they didn't take their chances. Maybe they'll take this one. Unlucky for Niger Eagles, who have been relentless in attack as well. What can they create once more? Effortless running down the bar line. Iniesta, can he find that pass? Borrow, what pass? Controls?
Nice one.
That was a nice build up there, but I think offside.
What some of the things have shown us is the ability to soak the pressure. Even the best teams in the league have been able to do it this year. You're not going to dominate the game from start to finish. How did he miss that chance? That was supposed to be 4. But the mark of every good team is you're not going to be dominating possession every single time. I know get clubbed, they dominate possession almost all the time, but even them, they have games where they kind of struggle with possession, they kind of struggle with creating chances. It's just keeping yourself in the game. Effortless, they were up by 2. They faced a spell of like a 10-minute straight spell where Niger Eagles looked like they should have scored, but their goalkeeper kept them in the game. And when your chance comes, you do have to take them. Effortless have taken them, and that's how come the margin is this big. I don't think this is a true representation of how the game has gone, because I don't think Effortless have been that dominant. But hey, the main important statistic is in their favor as they lead by 3 goals to 0. So kudos to them for making sure that they take good opportunities when they do come. And I've seen quite a couple of these already. Yes, the big lofted ball into the area, striker knocks it down into another attacker, and it's already caused a lot of problems for the Niger Eagles defense, who just look in shambles at this point.
I think it's quite like a practice mode arena kind of thing, because they seem like everybody knows what they are doing in those moments.
Credit to them. You sometimes you see teams do a lot in training, but it comes to the match day time or the D-Day, and they cannot execute. So credit to Effortless. I don't know if maybe it's because they're leading by 3-0 and that's how come they are comfortable trying all of these things, but when you do get to see it and you know that they have practiced things like this, then you know the team is heading in the right direction as they'll go up for another attack in the game. There it is, the cross we're speaking of, the knockdown we're speaking of, and they almost need to fruition.
That was a double knockdown. They are quite dangerous with their attack, like we've seen. So confirmation after this game, we'll be getting the managers back on, so they can give us a glimpse of their match, because we'll cover those 2 games against Nameless Chaos. We've also covered those 2 games against Faceless, man. So this will be the perfect time to get them back on, and then we check if we have any other games to cover. So after this game, we'll be getting both Italian Mafia of Faceless Men and Lord Bones of Nameless Chaos. What do you think will be their mood this night? Because those 2 managers have not had an easy night all through.
Especially Italian Mafia. I'd really love to hear what he has to say. Collapsing in 2 straight games, especially the Nameless Chaos game, and the way they give it away in those last few minutes. I've got a lot to ask him. And of course, going ahead to losing the next game as well, matches be tough loss to DIEHARD FC. I love what they have to say. And for Nameless Chaos, does that feel like a title shifting move? Does that kill off their title hopes? I'd love to hear from Bones as well. So I'm sure that those interviews would be intriguing. Everybody should definitely tune in when it comes up.
Okay, we'll be trying to get them on and see if they are ready to go live with us, because this match seems to have been put in bed. Unless Effortless can get this last chance. Step over into the space, back pass, one-time through ball. What a chance. Another goal. Jega has been firing all cylinders.
Rampant display. Effortless. Like I said earlier, Effortless haven't looked as dominant as they usually do, but the mark of the best teams in the league is even when they don't have their absolute good days. I don't think this was even an 80% performance from Effortless. I think it was in the 60s. But the thing is, they can lean on their goalkeeper and their defense to be able to turn a 60% performance into like a 70% one. Then that's what they do. Jega producing 3 solid goals for them. Match rating 10.0, of course, no doubt to that one. And just making sure that they get things clicking at the right time. Good Effortless. We're making a late set. Remind you, Effortless are also just a point behind Marshall. I know Marshall has also won all of their games, but it's keeping that top 4 is very intriguing.
All right, so we're still trying to see if we can get those managers on board. It will be hard to see because, like I said, it would have been quite emotional result for them to take in, and I don't know if they will be able to get back in, because those results, none of them will be happy with that one. Like, it's always easier when you have a
Bless you.
victory and then you're back to tell us how you feel and all of that. But after a defeat, it's quite. We'll try to see the most courageous of
About
them
the
play, and then we'll see
But
who
if
can
now they
be
for
on
training,
for us to
physical
get
training,
this
yeah, if the match not
post-match
there.
analysis.
Yeah, I do.
Let you
That's what I
go.
do. La Ligue match.
Yeah, definitely. I do
Simon, what
want
has
to
been
hear
the
what you
Now
say.
2 matches we get today.
Okay, I think we have Lord Bones of Nameless Chaos joining us shortly. So we're trying to get his feed as well. So when we get him in, and then we can get go. So Slimo, what has been the adventure for like you today? Like, what has been the most interesting matchup you've seen so far this evening?
There are a lot of intriguing games, but it will have to be possibly the. You know what? There were two contenders for game of the season right before our eyes, and I think Nameless were kind of involved in both. If you look at how their game against Faceless Men went, it was very intriguing how that went, and it even got more intensified when they played Adventure Time. So I'd say the Adventure Time game, because we had we had so many lead changes in a matter of minutes. How the last 15 minutes went, I think if you scripted that, it was great. Massive TV with how both teams played. And Nameless Chaos, commiserations to them for actually coming on the wrong end of that result. But Adventure Time, I think they put in the work and they deserve all of those 3 points that came their way. So that was my favorite game of the day. But hey, it was a tough one picking, because there were like 5 straight really good games. Marshall Alexei, they were able to turn a difficult game into a comfortable game at the end, get club calls, doing what they do, scoring 4 goals each for both of their games. So very impressive results all around. And as usual, the NPCL giving us very good entertainment and upsets everywhere.
I think the offset is what we live for as commentators, because it's one thing to like let the game go scripted, but once you have those actions and those changes, like we also saw Die Hard, what our team they have been, and we're still trying to see if we can get any of them on board. The games we saw today was out of this world. And it's quite crazy that these teams could not like settle in for those victories. But this is what I think is the most important part, this offset, because it let those teams at the lower end of the table know that okay, if they keep practicing, they can get it right. And it still let those teams at the upper end of the table know that okay, all work is not done, because if you sleep off, like we said it from the early get-go in the Nameless Chaos match, there seemed to be they didn't start with the usual intensity we see them start the game with. Like when we went into the GCC game, we saw that before we could get a view of them, they were already 3 goals up. But we saw Nameless a bit flat-footed during most of their match, and so we kept trying to like okay, see if they could do what champions do. And the first match, kudos to them, that 2 goals down against Faceless is not an easy one. But then the second game, like we could say that game could go either ways, because I think there was a brief moment in the game they were like 4-2 up, if I stand to be correct.
Yeah, they were 3-1 up and 4-2 up. Yeah,
3-1 up and 4-2 up, and we're trying to have Lord Bones join us so he could give us his take on the momentum swing and all the live. This okay, Lord Bones, we can see you now. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me? Yeah, we can see you, but I think we are struggling to get his feedback. Maybe you can go out and then join back in, and we'll see if we can hear you again. Are you there? Okay, we'll try to get him back. Like I said, it's only the brave managers that can be back on live with us after.
especially after 12 days.
Yeah, after 12 days. Simon, predictions for the season. Do you think GCC are running away with it right now?
5 points. Even when it was 2 points, I thought they were going to win, and now 5 points, it makes it even more comfortable for them. I see them dropping points here and there, but it might just be draws all over. And now the big question is, can Nameless go on like a crazy winning streak? I think we've got Lord Bones back. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me? I guess you can now.
Loud
Yeah,
and clear. First of all, thank you for joining us back again. And then secondly, what is the mood in the camp?
I'm sure you know already. I don't need to say it, but all, all hope is not lost. All hope is not lost.
That's very nice to hear. All hope is not lost. Simon, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's nice to hear from Lord Bones himself. But I mean, Bones, comparing those two games, first game against Faceless Men, you were losing for majority of the game, and then you end up turning it around and winning the game. The next game comes, you are actually leading for majority of the game after losing major parts of the game, like early parts of the game. Would you say it's down to both teams having different play styles? That's Faceless Men and Adventure Time, or it's maybe a mentality thing after you guys lost to Marshall XI? Has the mentality changed a little bit in the camp?
You know, two things. Definitely, both teams have very different play style. Adventure Time is very, very attacking, and this is not the first time they are winning us in the league. You know, they've done it. This is like the second or third time now. Credits to them. They were the better team tonight. I'm not going to deny that. And I don't know. The second thing is, at some point, I don't know why there's always going to be a disconnection in our team. They also had a disconnection, but when it happens to us, it just seems like everything, the odds are no more in our favor. So I don't know. We said
what was it the cause for the goalkeeper howler that gave away the goal? Or it's not that one?
Nah, it's not that one. We said the match off losing, then we scored like 2 quick goals. I think then 3-1. So it was like a 2-goal lead. Then our right mid lagged out. So at that point, it was just a repeat of what happened against Marshall. But this time it was our left. So I don't know. Even when we switched formation, you know, at halftime to try and accommodate the DC, at some point, I don't know, you could see our defense. Our defense was just helpless. We were conceding rebounds and 50-50 tackles that were meant to win and stuff like that. But yeah, kudos to Adventure Time.
Yeah,
they deserve that win.
That was the question I was about to go in, because I know the last time against Marshall XI, there was a point where we were asking if a tactical change could have helped with the DC. So confirmation, you did make the tactical change, but it did not change the result of the game. Am I correct?
No, it didn't.
Okay, yeah, because Limo, we were not privileged to have you there in the game against Marshall XI. They did have this DC again, and we were thinking about things that could have been changed in case that could have made that result, because playing a man down with a 3-5-2 is very hard when it's in your wing back, basically, because you're attacking there. So we're exploring alternative, and even Killer Freak was even giving ideas that maybe they could have changed to a back four, but that was what I wanted to confirm, if he did change into that. And like he said, it did not still change the result. So we have seen a one-man down is a one-man down. I think we can be convinced about that right now.
It's tough. It's tough with the way that game went, because I was expecting them to go on and win. Because at the point they were leading 3-1. At another point it was 4-2. So you almost feel like, 3 points in the back for Nameless Kills. Then all of a sudden, boom, 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 we see Adventure Time just come from nowhere, basically, because Nameless Kills were controlling major parts of the game. But is there any catching Get Club cause? Nameless Kills, I know you said all hope is not lost, but realistically, I know there's still a lot of games to go. But do you feel like Get Club might drop points somewhere else? Maybe when you guys meet them, you guys have to start a trend of teams actually going on to beat Get Club, because at this point, the last 4 games they've just scored 4 goals or more. It's looking crazy tough to beat them right now.
The trend could have said in the first half when we beat them, but yeah, things like that just want. You beat Get Club, they come back 5 times stronger and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is indeed crazy.
So confirmation, another thing is that now it will take more than, because the way the league was positioned, if you could have won them the second leg, you would have gone right on top. So the question is, right now you'll be needing help. So who do you think you can call on to render that help? Like name one.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Only Jesus can save us. I'm not confident because the things I'm seeing in this league, everybody just doesn't want us to win. And you know this, Eddie. I don't need to say it. I don't need to remind you. It's very obvious. So, you know, only Jesus can save us at this point. And Jesus is the external circumstances in that game. Things that just happen. That's the only hope at this point.
Slimo, you've heard it from him. He say only Jesus can save them. Is there anything contrary on him? Because I know Slimo here is who you should be attacking, not even because Slimo is a big fan of GCC as well. So Slimo, is that correct? Because do you see any
Of
other
course,
team
he's
stopping
his
GCC?
Ghana mate is the Padia. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it's not surprising that Bones is seeing this because it's always tough to stop Get Club when they go on like a crazy run. But I've said this here that they do not look as invincible as they looked when I first started with the pro and NPC when I was covering the game. So there's still loopholes in there, but I just feel like teams are not as confident as maybe a Nameless Chaos or the last time we saw them play Marshall Ecsn. Marshall Ecsn just couldn't get it together. Even a good team like that still struggle under the press of Get Club. I know there are loopholes in there, but which team is confident enough to go at them? I can name Nameless Chaos for one because I've seen them being confident against really good teams. Who else can do it? And it's going to be tough. That's how come Bones is saying they leave it to Jesus. Maybe something changes. We'll see. Maybe the other teams are listening to this interview and saying, okay, we'll take the challenge on and go at them.
That's what I was about to go into because it seems like Slimo is putting an open challenge that the all teams are just letting, although he loves GCC, he has never been shy about saying it, but for the first time it's like there are loopholes in GCC defense, but he thinks the teams are too afraid to go in and get something there. So this is a call out to all the Nigerian Pro Clubs League team, is that is GCC your daddy? Because they are really clapping everybody around. So this is a call out. Bones have said it, only Jesus can save them. Slime have told you that nobody seems like they can take up the challenge. So this is a call. Are you going to get clapped or you're going to do some clapping back? So I think at the end of the day, we just have to wait and see what turnovers and what happens, because don't forget, GCC will be having the craziest run of features. Slime, I don't know if you were there to cover a lot of those games there. They went into 6 games of no eternal rest. They were facing from Nameless Chaos to Talker to Marshall to Effortless to Faceless, and
basically the top half of the league.
Yeah, and this was the craziest part, is that they came out of those matches on scratch. Like there was not a drop of sweat from GCC because they maneuvered all those games. So we'll be waiting to see from there, and Lord Bones will still be letting you go at this point, so you can go and strategize with your team, and maybe you can call in Jesus into the mix as well to save you guys. So and that's a nice one. I think at this juncture we'll be letting you go. Lex Slimo has something else for you.
Oh, I think it's all good. He said it all. Thanks for coming on.
All right, Slimo, we've heard it from the manager. I think at this point Bones have lost hope in the rest of the teams, because I know they were counting on themselves to win GCC for the second leg. But do you think that was rightly said? Do you think he could have let another team get in on the action and say, okay, maybe this team can do it for us or something?
I just think he was being brutally honest, because they have played every single team out there, and if you look at the teams that are brave, Nameless Chaos, I think they're very brave. What we've seen from them this season is truly remarkable. So I put them 1 for a team that could go on and be extremely brave. Effortless also look like a team that when they get on their day, they can be brave. Marshall Ecsn, the last time they disappointed me heavily against Get Club. I thought we were going to give them a really big shout, but apart from those 2 or 3, I don't see anybody else. Faceless, man, they showed us that they can have spells in the game where they're possibly like the worst team in the league. Phoenix FC just can't put together really good results. Adventure Time, they are just up and down, hot and cold. So it's just all over the place. But hey, we love the surprise of the NPCL, and it's good to know that it's not every single time that Eddie's mirror gave us right answers. It's good to know that it can also fail. So it was nice. It was nice today.
Slime, I'll be honest with you there. The mirror didn't actually show me that one. That was me using the mirror to change the tides, because I'm actually a big supporter of CURRYZ, you understand? So I was trying to like give them the maneuver the mirror into favoring them, but kudos to them, because they played one of the most exciting games. Like you said, a lot of teams have been afraid, but I saw CURRYZ with the confidence in that game. I think that was on Monday feature or last Thursday or something, because not a lot of teams can win GCC in the first half. But I'm telling you, like, they got a first goal, GCC equalized, they went in on the 2-1 again. So I'm like, CURRYZ could be onto something, you get me? So I was trying to give them more leverage, and you saw them with that first half victory. So I think CURRYZ need to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, why are we having good first half and bad second half? Those are some technical questions they need to ask themselves. Are they falling under the pressure? Can they do better when this pressure comes in the mix? So I think that's about CURRYZ. They are playing good first half and then bad second half, like I was saying. And that's about CURRYZ. But what do you think? What do you think is the solution for a team like FACELESS Men? We see them get, like, they were in two different contrasting position in their two match. In the first match, they had a comfortable lead, but they went on to lose the game. In the second match, they were who scored first?
They were losing for majority of the time. They got the equalizer, but they let go of the equalizer in like 2 minutes.
So those are the questions we're asking, and I think FACELESS Men and CURRYZ are facing the same thing. They are weak in the ending part of the game. Like, they just lose all their balls, they lose confidence, they fall under the pressure. And what do you think are solutions for those kind of team that loses tempo in the second half?
I think playing the moment. What I mean by playing the moment is take the game in bits, break it down to the first 25 minutes, the second 20 minutes, that becomes the first half, second 25 minutes, third 20 minutes, the fourth 20 minutes. So the thing is, when you find yourself starting games very well, you have to try to balance it out. If you start the game very well, then try to go into the second half, and if you go and play a ratty style, nobody's going to blame you. So in FACELESS Men, especially that first game against Nameless, because you were going up against the team that had gone unbeaten and just recently lost. If you are leading them by 2-0, I was expecting them to go and rat it out in the second leg. That was their main problem in that first game. Second game, they were not playing well at all against DIEHARD. I think they were the second best team on that virtual pitch today, and you managed to get an equalizer. You have to put yourself together. As the saying always goes, not just in main football, also in esports and in virtual football, you are the most vulnerable when you score a goal, because the heads can cool off, everybody is mind to just elsewhere. That was a mentality thing for me, and that's one huge thing that they'll have to address. But that first game, the main solution was just clear: go and rat out that game, you get all 3 points or even get a point going into it. And we've forgotten that they actually even lost the possession of the ball for the free kick that ended up being a big goal for Nameless Kills that got them all 3 points. So realistically, they just have to go back to the drawing board and just hash out a few things. I don't think they're far off behind from some of the best teams in the league. But
speaking of mentality, I think that was where you get it most right in the how they can rebuild from this. Because what I feel, basically, there has to be that voice in the dressing room that when they are in this transition period, in this second part of the games, you play the game with a lot of IQ and a lot of ideas. So there has to be that voice that when your IQ drop, when your reasoning drop, there has to be that voice that is echoing instruction and letting you know that, okay, we are still in this. This is what you need to do. I think if everybody goes cold, the game goes cold. So there has to be that continuous voice of encouragement and tactics and all of that part. If in case you all missed it, this was the team of the league week for the last week, and I believe there'll be a lot of changes coming after this. But a major place I want to focus on will be on the next Monday games. I don't know if we have that. We don't have that, sorry to say, but if we can get those games, we'll be looking at what we have next Monday, because the league has gone into a very interesting stage whereby every result has to count for something, and I think it's important for teams to step up and all of that. So maybe if we can get the features, we can look at the games we were able to cover. But this is the current leaderboard, and I saw Noni getting a couple of goals, so I don't think there has been any changes at the top at this moment.
Yeah. The heavy hitters are still doing what they do best. They're still scoring goals. Noni, I think ever since I've been in contact with NPCL, he's always been among the best scorers in the league, and it's not surprising that he is. Killer also finds himself there. Chime also in there as well. Black Boy and then Roro also making sure that they get in on the act. Scoring goals in pro clubs, when you're looking outside and you're not part of the action, you might say it's easy, but it can sometimes be extremely difficult. Positioning is the most important thing, and I think that's what the top scorers have. I also see the assist leaderboard. Frank, well, that's impressive. 21 assists already, with us just playing like 17 or 18 games already in the season. I think that's impressive. Rhymes, we did see Rhymes in that Toka FC game. I think, did he register an assist to Montana? I'm trying to recall if that is indeed true. Maybe he gets one more. Chime, the only player both top 5 goals, top 5 assists. That's definitely a big case for player of the season. Because if you can be top 5 on both ends, then you have to be in the conversation.
Is definitely a big case considering they are also top of the league as well with 5-point clear. I think this has been one of the standout season for Chime. There was a day we were privileged to have Fola on, and it was like the position change that Chime usually plays on the wing ball. Now they put him in the ST position, and he has been delivering in all cylinders, not just racking up the goals, but the assists are there. And my prediction is that he's going to be at the top of one of those leaderboard, either the goal or the assist, but he's going to head one of those stats division. Definitely he will be top rated. That one's already secured, but I still see him getting another individual award as well.
It's massive for a team like Get Club, because then it's a dream having such players like those when you can switch their positions in season and they still go and perform. So credit to the managers of Get Club, because they're able to identify where they have to make changes, and when they do make changes, it turns out being okay. Get Club, they still keep going, but we'll see what happens on Monday.
Okay, and in response to this, we have to now bid you a lovely night. I remain your host, Ecsn, and it's always lovely when I have Slimer with me. Of course, he knows that as well. And this is the Effortless Sports Network, and we'll be covering all the live action of the Nigerian Pro Club League. And don't forget, Slimer, I don't know if you'll be present with me on Saturday, because then we'll be having the cup draw for the Effortless Community Cup, which will be played every Saturday. So that's another important one. It has been rebranded a few times. We've seen it called the K-Sport, the Nigeria FA Cup. It's still your cup trophy. And last season we saw Get Club calls with
Get Club, yeah.
And now this is like an opportunity for another team to get a silverware, and it's also important
or maybe Get Club sweep both of the divisions.
that was where I was about to go. Slimer, do you know that no team has done the double in any season so far? Yeah.
Wow.
No team
then if I'm to bet on any team, it has to be Get Club. Can you give us a quick look in the mirror and tell us who's winning FA Cup?
Okay. I'm looking at I want to be there, although they'll call me biased, but I will call it team. Yeah. Effortless is winning the Effortless Community Cup. I said it here. I don't know how they'll do it, but I just see because no.
We'll be here.
I think I've put them in harm's way, because now everybody will looking at them to like the team to beat based on my prediction. But let's see how it goes. And with this, I think it's time to bid our viewers good night, because it's already minutes past midnight. And Slimer, I think I have to let you go as well. So it's a good night from us from the Effortless Sports Studio. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that post notification, and we'll be back with you on Saturday as well.